Nah, it's not on the group page. It was just a little joke
Oh.
about the ending of Game of Thrones on Sunday night.
Like the last episode?
The most recent one, yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about like they killing the series or something. What are you talking about?
Oh no, they don't kill series at Game of Thrones. They just kill the cast members.
Well, yeah. That's where they can keep bringing more people in. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah.
Same thing
Okay, well,
same
like I
thing
said-
with Same thing with Scandal. I mean, think about it. Somebody on that show died. You think so?
Hey,
But see,
hey,
what- that
I haven't
that
seen
was-
the season finale for Scandal. Stop it.
I haven't either, but that was different because
Nobody
these people
dies.
are getting. These people are
That's
getting.
not live.
I know, right? These people are getting written out like because they're beating their wives and stuff, but that's a different story.
Oh, yeah. And Scandal, you could just be in the wrong place at the wrong time, or
You're in the wrong place of the
you only
script.
know you can know one name and it's over.
Like I said, I had never watched a single minute of Scandal. That's right.
What?
I have not.
You are not a gladiator? Blaspheme.
No,
really-
hold on now. I ain't gonna go as deep as the
Well,
whole Gladiator piece, but I do watch the show. I don't get caught up that far. I ain't gonna be wearing t-shirts promoting the show or nothing like that.
I mean, I'm not wearing a t-shirt either, but well, I am off task this season though because I've not seen it. I just haven't saved in my DVR.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to get on that as soon as I get a free
You
weekend.
need to get on that 24. That's what you need to get on.
I never watched 24 the first time, so
Jack
Yeah,
Bauer.
same thing. Never watched 24 the first
I
time.
never watched it the first time, so I'm okay not seeing it this time.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. Guys,
That's what I say about y'all in Game of Thrones.
the only reason I'm not watching Game of Thrones is I don't have HBO. I'm not start paying for it. I don't have to pay for 24.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I would watch Game
All
of
about
Thrones.
that free. All about that free.
I'm not spending extra money on cable channels, and I'm home 2 days a week. So why?
I
Not even
understand
mad
that.
at you.
Yeah, I catch it on.
I understand
I
that.
catch it on. Like I did all the rest of them. I catch it on Netflix.
You
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
how I watch
You do
it.
that because
No, I am. I will watch it. I
Right,
will watch it.
Netflix is getting HBO content.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, hell, it's got a lot of stuff actually. It's got.
No, I mean the deal was announced like last week.
Oh, okay, yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's a marathon. That'll be one of those Saturday storming outside. Ain't got
And
nothing
you
else
know
to
what?
do.
That's a whole weekend job there, dog.
But hey, I did that with The Wire the last season.
Okay,
So.
all right. The Wire. I put it this way. Slate Magazine and USA Today are comparing Game of Thrones with The Wire in terms of best television shows ever. And I'm like, well, that might be a little too soon for Game of Thrones, but the parallels they were writing were kind of compelling.
Ain't nothing really going on except for the Pacers talking about they keep their team intact and like we're gonna change our attitude.
Well,
we go out.
Before we do that, I mean, I think we could spare a few minutes to the 2 billion reasons to buy the Clippers.
There's nothing to it. It's
Nothing
if
too
somebody's
good.
stupid enough to pay that much money for it.
It's
There's
a
2
seller's
billion
market.
reasons.
It
Yeah,
ain't
that's-
even
that's
2
what I said.
billion reasons. There's 1 billion
Seller's
reasons
market.
to be stupid.
It's
ain't
a
even-
seller's market.
It's a seller's market.
No, I think what happened. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody keeps saying it was worth 2 million, worth 2 billion,
No,
worth
no,
2
no, no,
billion.
no, no.
Oh,
Not
no,
saying
no,
that.
nobody didn't say that.
No, I'm talking about the people that are willing to buy it are saying if somebody wrote a check for 2 billion, that means they think it's worth 2 billion.
Well, no,
Yeah.
You're
that's
trying.
not what we're talking about.
Oh, what are you talking about?
We're just saying we're standing back on seller's market, even going all the way back to like 4 or 5 weeks ago when I think it was Darryl Ravel on ESPN. He was one of the first people I heard say, "Oh, it'll go for 2 billion." Now I don't know if anybody in the Sterling Trust had actually thought up a price before that started getting tossed around on the media. But
Right.
once they said that, they were like, "Well, we might as
2
well ask for
billion
2
it
billion."
See what we can get. If
and
we get
so-
2 billion and we fall short, then it's still good. We still made a killing.
we sell it for. If we ask for 2 billion and get 150 million, we still came out on top.
So what it is winning. Winning.
Well, but the thing about it is, like I was saying, they put out the number of what that franchise was worth, and then somebody said 2 billion. All
Right.
I'm saying is, no. My point is, the person that paying $2 billion just wanted to. I can go out here and look at a pair of shoes. So I'm not saying it's not a seller's market; it's a dumb buyer's market. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's kind of one of the
dumbass buyer's market. Why the hell would you offer $2 billion?
But that's how that works when it's a seller's market.
But you didn't have to. That's the point. Y'all missing that.
But Pete, no, Pete. When it's a seller's market
in a textbook.
Yeah, when it's a seller's market, basically that's what it is. It's the buyers that are being stupid because they've overpaid for the Clippers is what they've done. But basically being a seller's market is when you got a bunch of dumb buyers that are willing to pay that price. We're not blaming the sellers for making the money. You know, by all means make money. Because
good evening, ladies and gents.
What's up, Deon? Because again,
good evening, ladies and gents.
Somebody could
quote Dollar, I'd like to lose like Donald Sterling.
Yeah. all I'm gonna say is there's been a lot of stoppage of different types of contracts and different deals and all that. Hey, if the NBA was all that bent out of shape about it being worth $2 billion, which they're not. Because
nobody is.
Nobody is.
About it. That's why
nobody's really been out of it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, it's all the franchises worth $2 billion. No, not all the first. That one wasn't worth $2 billion. So all of a sudden,
that wasn't worth $2 billion.
Mark Cuban gonna be like, well, the minimum is $2 billion now. Really? No, man.
You set the you set the market that way, and you get if I can jump in here.
Call me, jump on in.
If I may. I think the whole thing is bogus anyway. To be honest with you, the fact that they even went and got a guy that has that much money to actually purchase the team right now, and they found someone within due time of that the voters.
I thought you were gonna say another D word.
The voters meeting to vote Sterling out. So a little too ironic to me.
Let's discuss that, D, because that's the point I want to talk about. Is
right.
That timing was not like you said.
That timing was too convenient.
The $2 billion.
Why I'm telling you, the NBA had a big hand in this. I don't care what anybody.
Oh, they've admitted they've been very upfront about that. Yes, we want
because they don't want they didn't want those buyers to vote because a handful of them probably would not have voted him out.
Right.
They did not.
Right.
It was
not going down like they would have had enough to get him out. But the question would have been, how come it wasn't unanimous? That would have been the issue at hand.
Right.
We know why.
And I don't want to seem militant here on my thinking and what I'm saying.
Why not, dude?
Sure, why not? You got the Milton shirt on.
I do. But, no, that's because I'm in the warehouse. That's normal club gear.
Can we have a tank top night for Deon?
You can go right ahead.
Everybody do tank top.
I remember a picture that you did one time in college, and you told me flat out after you looked at the picture to never let you do that again. So you go right ahead. I'm one.
That's right.
No, I was no.
Shirtless, tank top, shirtless. It's all the same at 40, dog. It don't matter.
Not it's all the same at 40.
It's not
all look that great.
It's not all
no better than what it looks with shirt on.
That's true. I think the $2 billion is just to throw you off the fact that they actually found someone that within reasonable time before the voting. Wow, this guy's gonna pay $2 billion.
Oh, wait a minute! Not only did they find somebody, don't forget how convenient Steve Ballmer is. Not like he hasn't tried to buy a team before.
Right. Just all a little too convenient for me, and I don't put it past
Oprah's group out of the window, Magic's group out of the door. Just
right.
No really discussion.
But was Magic's group really a group? Because the Magic kept saying he wasn't trying to buy the team.
He's in a group, but the question is, how badly did he really want the team?
I don't think they really wanted it relative
to
just trying to put their bid.
I think the media wanted Magic's name in it.
Yeah.
Clearly.
As far as Oprah, though.
Buy the team from jump.
But I think Oprah's group really wanted to get in there.
Oprah, yes. Magic wants the Lakers, obviously.
I want to see Oprah buy an NFL team.
What you say? You want what?
I want to see Oprah buy an NFL team.
That's what I said. I said that a long time ago.
Oh, it happened.
I think I agree with you a long time ago.
It'll happen.
I was, trying to figure out a way to even even put that bug in her ear.
It'll happen.
And then it should
They
be
keep
in
saying
Virginia.
she wants to buy the Bears.
Well, yeah,
that'd be interesting.
From Chicago. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just
saying.
You know, like every 2 years it surfaces that Oprah wants to buy the Bears. So
Oh.
It never surfaces that she wants to buy any other franchise or start her own franchise in the NFL. It's always Oprah really wants to buy the Bears.
Well, it all goes back
buy the Bears because she's from Chicago.
I think she's just gonna have to wait for a team to come for sale.
But it won't happen then. She'll have to actually break ground by getting her own expansion team.
She can get her own expansion league.
Yeah, right. The good old boy system's not going to allow that, which brings me back to the whole owners.
To the $2 billion. Yep.
You're right, to the $2 billion. You know,
that never was.
Yeah, boy, you come in, you make a splash with the $2 billion, and everyone's going nuts, and we're forgetting about the meeting that was supposed to take place. And by the way, Cuban, I'm done with you. Done.
So you done with Cuban? Why you done with Cuban?
Why you done with Cuban?
Because listen, when you hear that sort of rhetoric spewed by Donald Sterling, whether the tapes was it legal or was it illegal, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We heard you. We heard what was said. That's a problem. I don't want to hear that we have reserves, we all live in glass houses and all of that stuff. Just vote them out. Just get them out. And why do you have to even say anything anyway? None of the other owners are saying anything. Why do you have to say something?
Well, hold up, D. I'm going to defend them on that. That's what we do. That's what they do in the media. They put the camera in front of the person that's going to talk. So he didn't have to say anything, but that's what Cuban does. That's what he's here. That's what he's going to do. So...
But I understand that. But as a human, but at some point, why?
Well, why? Because it's business.
Why?
It was all about business. It had nothing to do with the moral aspect of it. It was business for him and all the other owners. Simple as that. Yeah. There's nothing, and I don't disagree with what he said or agree. I'm with you. The actual vote would have just been like you say, vote him out. Say what you, but vote them out. But it didn't get to that. So now we're left with speculation on who really would have, upheld whatever vote or who really feels the same way about all that.
Well, now we were going to be upheld with. We were going to have speculation to begin with because the vote was going to be unanimous. It was going to be anonymous. They weren't going to say, well, Cuban
I don't believe
voted
that.
Yes and Cuban voted no. I mean, later on, there might have been some sort of legal.
Somebody would have read it.
Yeah, somebody would have later ratted it out.
Cuban would have been the exception to that rule, though. I think he would have
read it.
That's why I said I don't believe that, because he would have been.
No, just listen to what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. All these things, whenever there's an owner's vote, for whatever the case may be, it always just gives you the percentages. It's not until months down the line, until people have forgotten what the heck they were voting for, that you find out, that so-and-so might have voted for this or so-and-so might have voted for that. When the story broke and they decided to vote Sterling out, we were going to have absolutely no idea who the 75% was that said yes and the 10% that said no. Right. Absolutely no idea. They weren't going to give you the names because that was going to be more of an issue. Mm-hmm. That was going to be even more of an issue. That was going to be on lock for a long time until it was all said and done.
Let me ask this question then. Do you really think the 75% would have went down?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah, the 30.
Only because it was going to cost the entire league money, which meant it was going to cost everybody in the room money.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that, Lonice.
I don't know about that.
Because here's the thing. Because here's the thing, as we were discussing LeBron James and the rest of them, the players were waiting to see what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I believe had it gotten to the point that the players were like, okay, y'all aren't doing what y'all are supposed to. Y'all didn't make the right vote. I honestly believe a lot of them would have been like, we're not playing. Now you're costing me money. You think so? Yes. And now you're costing me money. And I'm losing sponsorship because the games aren't running.
I'll give you the sponsorship piece, but I'm telling you right now, the player that makes $300,000 probably would have thought twice about sitting down a game.
I'm going to go
it's a guaranteed contract in the NBA. You don't have to play to get paid.
They're in breach
about that, but I'm just saying
they've been in breach.
The players of today
you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay to get played. You got a union. They would. I promise you this. If Alonzo Mourning can transfer teams and refuse not to play and sit at home until they put him on a team he wants to play on and not get paid, if you sit down for it because you decided that you're gonna stand for something, they're gonna cut you a check.
Well, I would give you this. I would give you the fact that maybe the stars of each team would probably not play, and that's enough for
how
a lot
long?
of fans. And for how long? Some
Not
of them,
very long.
most of them, please, come on. A lot of them are not hurting the stars, and if the people aren't seeing the stars, the other, but like Cuzzo said, the other guys are average. The average ones, they're gonna be there. But now you're still going to have people, you're going to be losing out on fans because fans want to see the best.
The fans want to see the LeBron James and the Dwayne Wades of the world.
Right. But not everyone will sit down.
I know. I was just saying that I didn't think the situation was for the Clippers and all them to all sit. If they both, that's what they were saying. If both teams would have sat, the message would have been clearly sent.
In the playoffs.
Right. In the playoffs. As opposed to one team or one player or two players. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a money thing or anything. Or
another thing you're talking about too is that you're talking about sitting in October and November.
Well, no, because now, because the vote was coming before the playoffs were over, before the finals were even over.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because in fact, the vote was due in today.
It was supposed to be this week. It was supposed to be
today. The finals start
you know what?
If you don't vote him out, just think about it. Because LeBron James, as we had discussed, he's one of the vocal ones that was talking about what the players should do, what the league should do, and all of this stuff. You don't think that he couldn't have rallied, not necessarily everybody, but enough players? Because even if it's just one game, if it's the start of the NBA Finals and they don't have anybody playing, because the vote was due in today.
You know what? Honestly,
it would have had to be LeBron James.
Honestly,
okay, but it was.
But
it was the finals. It was LeBron James. All of that was lining up perfectly to be a perfect storm, and thus your convenient solution on Saturday morning. You wake up and all is right with the world in the NBA. The skies have opened up. You didn't hear angels singing.
But you know what though? None of this even matters, and I'm not to just sensitively being sensitive here, but it doesn't matter because there's racism in that arena, just like every other arena. They found a buyer. They did not have to have the voters meeting. They didn't vote the man out. There's others in that NBA association that feels the same way that Sterling feels. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame.
Other owners in every sports league.
In every sports league. But it's just I'm tired of it. It's hidden, but then it's like it's blatant and then it's hidden.
But it's blatant based on the actions that we've seen already on certain other issues. Deshaun Jackson. You don't think the mentality was the same with him? Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all over the place.
Right. Hey, and then Deon, to take it back to your point earlier,
Josh Freeman.
You were talking about
you don't treat people like that unless you don't have you have a dislike for them. You don't just throw that boy out there like that.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? You don't do stuff like that. It's
okay. Well, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with the picture that Cuban painted when he first.
Yeah, I know that.
That's nothing.
No. We agree with that. We agree with that.
My issue with Cuban is that, and it's sort of similar to I gotta say it, Skip Bayless when I was watching it. It's true. Why do you keep coming out saying stuff about how we got to be careful what we do with this man and how we look at this situation?
Because Skip Bayless painted a picture to say he was setting it up, like Lonice said, to maybe, possibly not vote.
But that's my point.
Not make that a unanimous vote because it was about business. Well, it was about business.
You know what? Here's something I thought about just now. Because what's this man sitting here talking about? This was private. This was a private moment. This was a conversation that was taped without his knowledge, and so on and so on and so on. If I was sitting there, what I think I would have asked Mark Cuban? I was like, "Yeah, what'd you think about Ray Rice?"
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's drunk, he's inebriated, so is his woman. Do you think he knew he was being recorded? And do you think he would have acted differently, reacted differently, if he could have figured he was being recorded? It was an elevator on a camera, you know. But hold on. Because wait a minute, do we know if this was the first time that look, I'm just speculating. No. I'm not accusing anything. How many times has this man maybe put his hands on that woman? We don't know. Agreed with that. but how many people said when it came to light, oh well, that's a private, that's between him and his woman and what goes on in their house, and that's privacy, and we need to be concerned about, you know, that this man was recorded, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I got
Nobody's sitting here saying, everybody's sitting here saying, okay, how come Ray Rice hasn't been punished yet?
Right.
You know?
Right. I understand exactly what you mean. Yeah.
If that was an owner and his house security camera caught him beating on a maid or something, all of a sudden, is it private?
We don't have. That's the point. The word private is relative.
Well,
the way that our lives are. Right,
but that's the rationale. But that's the rationale that Cuban is using in his argument, saying it shouldn't be for us to vote on this man on some sort of
because it was a private conversation.
Because it was a private conversation.
And I'm like, what's the difference between a private conversation and a private slap upside the head?
You don't want to go too far to be too hypocritical of yourself. You know, it's like you don't want to go but so far with it, because I think Cuban was trying to find that line. But
he found it all right.
That's the question that I want to ask, though. But that's the question I want to ask you. Is after he painted the picture of everyone's prejudice, and I got it.
That was cool. That was.
I understood that.
Yeah, I appreciated that. I appreciate that.
I thought that. No.
I'm talking about what you was about to say now. Next.
Oh, everything after that.
Yeah.
What's your game plan for that? Like, I don't understand your motive behind everything afterwards. I still don't get that. When you say that, I don't understand.
It's
because my interpretation is
the dude should not own the team, man.
On principle, and his principle was that
he should keep his team
like this, huh?
Cuban's principle was what?
I'm talking about Cuban. Cuban said he was standing on his principles that. Political incorrectness was not a reason for a man to take the team away.
Right.
That was his principle that he was going to stand on. Now, which kind of circulates back to, hey, I'm just saying I'd have headbutted him myself if I was in the studio.
So to put this in another perspective, and I think Stephen A. put it in perspective. Okay. We are all owners, right? We all employ people. We're black. We employ people. I can't speak for you guys, but I can say that a lot of black people still don't necessarily like other races relative to Caucasian, white, even Hispanics to a certain degree. I mean, It's just the nature of the life. It's just what we are. I mean, some people just don't cater to their culture. But when you employ certain people, you're more than likely, if you have a larger corporation or a larger business, you're going to wind up you're not employing 100% of black people. And even in the sense of employing 100% black people, we talk about our own race worse than anybody at times. So the point I'm making is, if you caught me on tape talking about one of my employees, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, or whatever, and it was a conversation that you may have taken out of context, not a Donald Sterling, but just in the sense of a prejudice that got caught on tape. Right. Saying something that wasn't necessarily degrading to the level of what he was saying, but just enough to make people be edgy, because in 2014, you honestly can't say but so much stuff. It's all PC all day long.
Right. Everything makes everybody edgy.
You have the right to tell me to step down because I said something and I got caught relative to saying, check yourself, Pete, don't do it again. And I'm not trying to speak for Donald Sterling, but he is a whole nother level. But I think that's where Cuban is saying, where is that line? Where's the line to say that I can't say anything or do anything that if you don't like it in the public perspective, or I do something that's not quote unquote PC, you have the right to make me give up my business. I think that's what he was trying to say.
Because and it's because it offends people who use your business, who go to your business, who participates in your business, who you take, in essence, you're getting money from these people.
Oh my gosh, Pete's got the janky connection.
What you guys think about how Lance Stephenson performed and put on the show?
I ain't watch. I don't know. Y'all tell me.
Really, you didn't see it?
Nah, man, I don't watch NBA.
You didn't see Lance Stephenson blowing sweet nothings on LeBron's ear?
Yeah, I didn't miss it either. I'm glad I didn't see that.
It was bad. You really didn't want to say that.
Children were in the room and everything. How would I be like turning my TV on and seeing that man blowing air in another man's ear? Like,
and let's be real about this. I'm tired of people always trying to blow this point up. Oh, he's going to lose money. Oh, somebody's going to pay him. They always pay him. They're always going to pay him. Oh, he lost so many money. He lost money. If anybody going to lose money, it'd be Roy Hibbert. That's who loses money. That dude. When his next contract come up, he gonna lose some money.
What do you mean, Sway? He should just lose his job.
I was about to say.
Did you see the post I put up in the Facebook group?
And you know what, Roy Hibbert, that dude, man, you try to like him, but I'm done. I couldn't do it. I'm done.
Can't deal with him. Did you see the
post I put up in the Facebook group today?
Oh, I know
you see the picture I put up in the Facebook?
I saw that. I saw LeBron and them cracking up. That
was the best. I was like, you know what?
They talk. Oh, Lance Stephenson.
She's on Google Plus liking her own Facebook.
Lance Stephenson did. I'm about to say Dennis Rodman had 20 shenanigans and got paid.
Yeah, that's what I want to. Who text that? You text that out?
What?
That Dennis Rodman did the same thing and got paid?
No, I didn't text it out.
See Dennis Rodman licking nobody on the court or nothing.
Yeah, I just got to take. I want to.
No, he was just kicking cameramans in the crotch. That's what he was doing.
Right, because listen.
And grabbing dudes in the butt.
Right.
That's why.
That's what Dennis Rodman.
That's what Dennis was doing.
So you think Lance was channeling his inner Dennis Rodman?
No, Lance was channeling his inner Lance. He's a nut.
Yeah.
But he can play some ball, but he a nut. That's all I'm saying.
At the same, but at the same time, Dennis Rodman looks like he would do that. Lance looks actually like a decent human being.
No, look at his face. That boy ain't wrapped too tight, man.
When he's being a decent human being, he actually looks like a decent.
That boy, like
that boy looked like got tattooed up and all that stuff. Looked like a decent human being.
Before he went with the leopard skin hair.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I'm telling you, he don't look right. Lance don't look right in the eyes, man.
I don't. Yeah, because I know everyone.
He be. Hold on, Lonice, he be like this.
I know. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and
that dude blew in his ear, man. Stephen A. said that he didn't have a problem with it, but I did. I had a problem with it.
And he said what? But Stephen A. also said he commended LeBron James for not hauling off and slugging him.
Because it's not.
Face in that game when he kind of tapped his face up like this, I thought it was over. I thought LeBron's about to get kicked out.
Yeah.
That right there. He told him. He said, "Don't you do that again."
Right. That's where I think it went too far, and
it definitely went too far. It went too far.
There was a lot of tomfoolery and shenanigans happening.
So here's the point. Dennis Rodman did a lot of tomfoolery, right?
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
People always say that even Michael Jordan did. I disagree. When he was with the Bulls, a lot of that got diminished. Now he had a couple of episodes, but I'm in statistics. Six Sigma. He definitely reduced his defect rate down when he got with the Bulls. And what I'm saying is, Paul George, hello.
No leadership. No leadership.
Why? That got out of control. You know why? Because he know he can do it and not be accountable for it.
Right.
You know
because
Larry Bird had to call him in the office to be like, hey, bring it down.
He called him in the office. He just hadn't said anything to him when he got there.
And he knows,
hey, how you doing? How's the family? Want a hug?
And he know looking at the tape that Larry Bird would have gotten that ass if he did that to him.
Right.
So I told people, y'all can think Larry Bird was so cool white guy from Indiana, French Lick. Larry Bird was fighting.
See,
on the regular.
Right.
On the regular.
But my argument, my debate about it, my argument towards what Lance is doing versus what Lambeer and Dennis Rodman did, they did things that weren't noticeable, so to speak.
Well, I think we noticed a lot.
D, because the cameras now. Hold on now. We got cameras everywhere. We got cameras in shoes.
That's what my point though. You didn't have we couldn't see all the little stuff, and then Lambeer would do little things, like he might try to nudge his elbow into the ribs, and he did big things too. I get that, but those are things that you can't just look at the ref and the ref. If you look at the ref will be like, "What are you holding your arms up for? I don't even know what you're talking about." I didn't see anything.
The refs too.
But remember, in the 80s and the 90s, there was a different game, man. Them cats,
and that's my point too. It was a different era.
That's why I was impressed with LeBron saying, "Okay, all right, you keep. I'm still gonna get mad at you, but I'm gonna still go ahead and blow you out by 30."
Right." And
because that's what them cats did back in the day.
Right. That's why I texted. It was a different era and a different, different refs, different ball game. Also, Lance doesn't have to. Why play that game nowadays? Stephen A. was like he was getting in his head.
The team is weak. That's
you're taking away from the team too, because you're already divided. You're doing nothing. You're not helping that. I'm
not disagreeing with you, but think about it. If he didn't do it, they get beat by 30. They weren't
good
enough.
They were getting beat by 30 almost.
That's what I'm saying, but they're not good enough. So what he was saying is he didn't have nothing to lose. It wasn't right. It was stupid. Yeah. It was too far. He went overboard.
But they were losing.
He didn't cost them anything. They sucked.
It didn't cost them because he didn't get tickets. It wasn't like he got mad technicals and thrown out the game.
There was a point made that the top four, the last four teams in the West would have blew the Pacers out in 5.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm about to go abstract on y'all real quick before I get off of here. But American tennis is dead. It's a wrap. If Serena don't win, it's a wrap. It's like no reason to watch tennis at all.
What happened with the other girl?
Sloan and Taylor? The Taylor.
Oh yeah, they're watching the show right now.
And my man,
they're watching us.
They're watching us right now.
Wow.
Thoughts and prayers to Sloan Stevens.
There you go. And the other girl.
What about Young? What about Young?
The one they said was too fat to play.
Oh,
stop it.
Who was too fat to play? I missed that. Who was that?
This what's her name? Taylor something.
Hey, Lindsay Davenport can make it through the years.
That's
play.
But you know what? In all honesty, they gave her all sorts of crap too about her weight.
And
what's
she
what's the one guy's name? Young? Where is he from?
Who?
Young. Young. His last name's Young. I can't think
American. I don't know. American tennis. I don't know. All right. I was like, Venus and Serena lost in the same day. I was like, yeah, that's it.
I think they need to retire too.
No, Serena ain't gonna retire. She too mean for that.
Well, you know what's funny is that there was that is like was right after the tournament. It was like her and the girl that was engaged to the golfer.
Mm-hmm.
And was spotted hanging out at a beach or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right after the girl, her engagement broke up, and they were saying Serena had tweeted her and all that stuff. And I was like, you mean Serena has a friend on a tour?
Hey, man.
Yeah, that's different.
Besides family?
Because I didn't think she had friends.
And
I didn't think she had friends,
Yeah, some picture out there where she showed up in a bikini.
At a wedding.
At a wedding, or like a swimsuit at a wedding.
Yeah,
I mean, that was cool. She ain't have nothing else to be doing, but I just thought that was funny. Just like her and Carolyn Wozniacki, or whatever her name was, they were hanging out.
Probably so.
I don't know. She kind of strikes me. I can't even say it because I don't even know. So I'm done.
Who, Serena?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't she your owner at one point?
Her and about 50 other people. I mean, the Dolphins got a little there.
Pete, weren't you an owner at one point?
The Dolphins sold ownership to everybody.
I mean,
I saw a Cookie Monster up in the box.
You don't know what to say about that, do you, D?
I don't.
Snuffleupagus, Big Bird.
Got a club in the stadium. Who puts a club in a football stadium? Really? Like a for real club? Not
the Lakers.
We're not talking about
the Showtime Lakers.
Yeah,
Magic.
other than people who just win championships.
Jerry Jones got one up in that ballot. He got one up in there.
Jerry Jones need to just stop. I just wish.
What are you talking about? He just getting started.
He just
What
getting
you talking about?
He got
Deon.
he got the he
I told you I was doing a good job the last couple of years.
He's got the mind of a 40-year-old, Deon. He's got the
mind of an 18-year-old.
And Lonice, I say I was doing a good job last couple of years. I be lying to you, but I'm telling you right now, we got to be in it. We gonna be in it.
Listen, he got the he channeled Al Davis somehow and got him there.
Don't bring up Al Davis.
That's not
good, Deon.
You said dig about Davis?
Sorry, oh my Lord. Don't do that.
We've gone a whole episode without any
Hey,
just saying.
Al Davis.
Previn is telling you. No, Previn is.
I'm moving past Al Davis. I want to tell you a little quick. Darn, Pete gone already. See what you did, Deon?
Did I disconnect again?
Oh,
Wow.
Hey, y'all, check this out. This is sports related. Ain't got nothing to do with Al Davis. I live in a military heavy area, right? Hello.
Yo.
Yeah, I live in a military heavy area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in my neighborhood, we have a lot of transition, folks deploying in, folks deploying out. My neighbors across the street, they've figured out this thing where they rent their house out to British servicemen, particularly with the Royal Air Force, who rotate in the States to work with NATO and do training over here. So I introduced myself to this guy across the street, this like 6'8" British guy from the UK named Pete. And the first conversation we had, I ain't understand a single word he's saying. He's speaking better English than me, obviously. So he seems like a pretty nice guy. He stops by my house today for a hot second, and I introduce him to my daughter and all that stuff. So we just get in a little conversation. I say to him, "Hey man, I'm gonna play the dumb American. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and just guess that you're a big soccer fan. With the World Cup coming up and everything." Mm-hmm. And this dude, this is hilarious. He gets this look on his face like somebody just plucked him in a nipple or something. I mean, he's just like this. And he was like, "Well, I have to be honest, for a British bloke, I'm not really a big football fan. I like American football, the NFL, and the NBA." And I was just like this. Huh?
We all have our stereotypes and prejudices.
You try to start some trouble there, D. Don't do
Check
that,
this out, man. This dude he tells me, yeah, I went to a couple of the NFL games over at Wembley Stadium, when they were doing that. I was like, oh man, look, I'm sorry about that.
Yep.
We've been sending y'all some garbage.
Horrible.
No, we're so sorry.
Nah, we can't send them to Steelers when they're good. We got to send them to Steelers.
We got Steelers.
We can't send them when the Giants are good. We send them when the Giants are bad. I'm like,
yeah, that was horrible. That was a shame. That was a shame.
Who's going this
we
year?
sent the Rams. We sent the Rams over there. The Jaguars.
Yeah, the Buccaneers.
We sent the Buccaneers. It was terrible.
Yeah, that was bad.
I think the only
Has the Browns been over there yet?
The only team we sent over there that was worth anything, I think, was the Minnesota Saints game, right? I think it was Minnesota.
No,
Minnesota played Pittsburgh this year.
Okay,
yeah.
But I'm saying the Saints went over there one time and put on the show.
I think they beat up Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
but
that was
yeah, we can't send anybody over there any good.
Why can't we send a team from Virginia? Because we don't have
a team.
Too much. You do. You got the Redskins.
Send them Oscar Smith. Send them over there.
Training camp in Richmond.
Yeah.
Team headquarters in Ashburn.
You got the Redskins. You straight.
See.
Don't start, Lonice.
The office has a Virginia area code.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Prev. Don't do that.
The mail address.
Don't do
If
that.
you get the team photo with the autographs and everything,
You're gonna upset the big guy. Don't do that.
And look, hey, the Dolphins
owner.
When the Dolphins owner talking about moving the team to LA, just have them move to Virginia.
That's
Roanoke
horrible.
or something.
Wait,
That's
which
absolutely
Dolphins owner?
horrible.
There's
We don't want
like
that.
12.
We don't want my
All right, I gotta roll.
Yeah, I'm about to be out. You upset the big guy there.
That's too much abuse.
He said, which Dolphins?
He don't even have his gluten popsicle tonight to make me feel good. You done upset the big guy.
Well, you would think I'm a health nut if you could only see the rest of what's below that box.
I've been trying to check out what's on the TV in Deon's background the whole time.
I ain't trying to check out that.
That's Crossbones. I got it paused. Called Crossbones.
Oh my goodness. I'm done fucking with y'all for the night, man. I'm out.
All right,
Good night.
Peace out.
Later.